Hello, boys and girls. My name is Miss B, and welcome back to another math class. Okay, mathematicians, now I want you to remember that during this video, you must look, listen, and learn. Now, I want you guys to put on your thinking caps and your listening ears as I read this poem to you all. Then, I want you to guess what I am talking about. Let's get started. I'm something that is often round, but I'm not pizza base. I have hands, but don't have fingers, and have numbers on my face. I help to tell the time no matter what part of the day. And I also go tick tock. Of course, I never ever stop. You can wear me on your wrist, or you can put me on the wall. But you'll always need me somewhere as I'll keep you right on time. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? If you guys guessed the clock, then you are absolutely correct. Give yourself a kiss on the brain. Mwah, mwah, mwah. So today we will be using the clock to tell the time by the hour. So at the end of this video, you guys should be able to identify the job of the shorthand on the analog clock. Identify the job of the longhand on the analog clock. Tell time to the hour on the analog clock. Okay, so now this clock that I have in front of you guys is not any old clock. This clock has a name. It is called the analog clock. It is called the analog clock. Very good. It is called the what? Analog clock. So, our analog clock has two hands, and each of these hands helps to tell the time. The long hand shows the minute, and the short hand shows the hour. Now, in order for Miss B to remember this, she often says a poem. And now I will say it with you guys. Hands on a clock always goes around in the same direction. It is called clockwise. The short hand shows the hour and the long hand shows the minute. So now, let's see if we can tell the time on our analog clock. The first thing we have to do is look at the shorthand and say the number the shorthand is pointing to. So, what number is the shorthand pointing to? The number 2. Very good. Now, we must look at the long hand. Now, if the long hand is pointing to the number 12, then it says o'clock. And is the long hand pointing to the number 12, boys and girls? Yes, it is. So we say o'clock. When the long hand is pointing to the number 12, then we say o'clock. O'clock, clock, 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 clock. O'clock, clock, 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 clock. Okay, so let's put it together. The short hand is pointing to the 2, and the long hand is pointing to the 12, which says o'clock. So that means that it is 2 o'clock. So let's recap those steps to telling time by the hour. The first thing we did was look at the shorthand, and then we said the number the shorthand is pointed to, which was the number 2. And then we looked at the long hand, and we know that the long hand was pointing to the number 12. And when it's pointing to the number 12, we say, oh, clock, clock, clock. We say, oh, clock, clock, clock. So then we put that together. We put the 2 together, and we put the o'clock together, and we got 2 o'clock. Very good. Let's try to tell the time on this analog clock using our steps. So the first thing we must do is look at the shorthand and say the number the shorthand is pointing to. So what number is the shorthand pointing to, boys and girls? The number 10. Very good. Next, we must look at the long hand. And if the long hand is on 12, we say, oh, clock, 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 clock. Very good. And the long hand is on 12, so we are saying o'clock. Now we have to put it together. So the short hand is on the 10 and the long hand is on the 12, which says o'clock. So to put it together, we say 10 o'clock. clock. Very good, boys and girls. Shimmy, shimmy, shake. You did it. Alrighty, now let's see if we can draw this one. I wonder if you guys can help me to draw this. So now we need to put in the time of 5 o'clock on our analog clock. So the first thing we must do is get our shorthand. So we must draw our shorthand. On which number do you think? If you said the number 5, then your brain is percolating. So now teacher is going to draw her arrow to the number 5, and this is going to be the shorthand. Now, we must go for the o'clock. Now, when we're doing the o'clock, where must our longhand be? On the number 12. If you said the number 12, give me a shimmy, shimmy, shake, because your brain is percolating. So now let's look at it. Our shorthand is on the number 5, and our longhand is on the number 12. So that means that it is 5 o'clock. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, now, guys, I need your help because my friend, lovely Lisa, is having a wonderful birthday party and she's going to be having so many birthday activities today. Now, we must figure out which time she will be performing each activity. So let's look at the first one. Okay, so now we can see that lovely Lisa went to, where did she go? To Blue Lagoon. Oh, that's so fun. Let's see what time she went. So the long hand is on the 12 and the short hand is on the 12 too. Oh my goodness. Are they trying to trick us? Now, we are very, very smart, so we're going to figure this out. So when the short hand is pointing to the number 12, then it must be 12. And when the long hand is pointing to the number 12, then we say, oh, clock, 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 clock. Clock. So that means that the time is what? I think somebody said it. It is 12 o'clock. Very, very good. Okay, let's look at the next picture. Now, lovely Lisa is eating her yummy, yummy birthday cake. Let's see what time she does this. So now we're going to look at the shorthand. And what number is the shorthand pointing to? The number 6. Very good. Now, the longhand is pointing to the number 12. So what time is it, boys and girls? If you said 6 o'clock, then give me a shimmy, shimmy, shake, because your brain is percolating. Yes, it's percolating. Very good. So it is 6 o'clock. Okay. Oh, wow. Now we have to figure out what time did lovely Lisa go to sleep after all that fun she had at her birthday? So it says that she went to sleep at 8 o'clock. So how can we draw that on the clock? The first thing we must do is draw the shorthand. And we know that the shorthand says the first number. And the first number is what? 8. So where are we putting our shorthand? Which number will it be pointing to? The number 8. Very good. Give yourself a kiss on the brain, everybody. Okay, now we know that it says 8, but it also says, oh, clock, 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 clock. And we know that in order for it to say o'clock, the long hand has to point to which number? 12. So I'm going to draw my long, long hand on the number 12. Now, boys and girls, is this 8 o'clock? Oh, yes, 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 it is. Okay, mathematicians, let's see what you learned. Remember, you can always pause the video to answer the questions. Now, do you remember the name of this clock? If you said the analog clock, then you are correct. When the long hand is pointing to the 12, then it says, if you said o'clock, then you are correct. Can you look at the clock and tell me what number the short hand is pointing to? If you said 2, then you are correct. Give yourself a kiss on the brain. Great job, boys and girls. Now, I want you to complete your worksheets on the LMS website. Caterpillars, you will be doing worksheet A, and butterflies, you will be doing worksheet B. This is Miss B signing out. See you next time.